If I told you that most Canadians are investing in the wrong account, would you believe me? Every year, people rush to max out their RRSPs, dump money in their TFSAs, and now open shiny new FHSA accounts, without realizing that one simple mistake could be costing them tens of thousands of dollars over time. You've heard it all before. RRSP for retirement, TFSA for flexibility, FHSA for home ownership. But in reality, the lines aren't that simple anymore. Because in 2025, with higher taxes, new contribution limits and inflation still eating away your savings, where you put your money matters just as much as what you invest in. So today, we're breaking it all down. RRSP versus TFSA versus FHSA, not in theory, but in reality. Who should use which one, when, and why? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build the perfect account strategy for your income, goals, and lifestyle. Let's get into it. The real problem: everyone's doing it backwards. Let me start with this. Most Canadians are saving in reverse order. They max their RRSP because the bank advisor told them they'd get a big tax refund. Then they open a TFSA and let it sit half empty. And the FHSA? Many don't even understand how powerful it really is. So before we talk about which account to prioritize, we need to understand what each one actually does, in real life, not just on paper. Part 1. The RRSP. Canada's most misunderstood tool, RRSP, stands for Registered Retirement Savings Plan. You get a tax deduction when you contribute, meaning your taxable income goes down, and you pay less tax this year. Sounds amazing, right? But here's what no one tells you: the tax bill doesn't disappear. It just waits for you at retirement. When you eventually withdraw the money, it's taxed as regular income. So, if you're earning $90,000 now and expect to retire making $40,000, RRSPs make sense. You'll pay less tax overall. But if you're younger, still growing in your career, or planning to make more money later, every dollar you put in an RRSP today could be taxed higher later. It's a time bomb disguised as a tax break. And that's the trap. People think they're saving taxes, but they're just deferring them, often into a higher bracket. Still, RRSPs aren't bad. They're just misunderstood. They're incredible if you use them strategically. If your income is high, over $85K, the tax deduction is powerful. If your employer matches contributions, it's a no-brainer. That's free money. If you plan to use the Home Buyers Plan or Lifelong Learning Plan, RRSPs give flexibility with temporary withdrawals. But for the average Canadian making under $60K, the TFSA might be the smarter first move. Part 2. The TFSA, the most underrated wealth builder. TFSAs are like the quiet genius of the financial world. Everyone thinks they're just for savings, but in reality, they're the ultimate investing vehicle. Every dollar you earn inside your TFSA, interest, dividends, capital gains, is completely tax-free, forever. You can take money out anytime for anything with no penalty. And here's the kicker: every dollar you withdraw comes back as new room the next year. The problem? Most Canadians don't invest inside their TFSA. They treat it like a glorified savings account, earning 1 to 2% instead of letting it compound. Imagine this. If you invested $10,000 in a TFSA at age 25, earning an average of 8% a year, you'd have over $100,000 by age 55, tax-free. In a taxable account, you'd lose roughly $20,000, $30,000 of that growth to taxes. That's the real power, not what you put in, but what you keep. So the TFSA is your go-to for long-term investing. ETFs, dividend stocks, even cash flow funds. It's flexible, tax-free, and recession-proof. But the only catch is, it doesn't lower your taxes today. That's where the FHSA enters the game. Part 3. The FHSA. The new game changer in 2025. The First Home Savings Account, or FHSA, is the newest tool, and honestly, one of the smartest. It combines the best of both worlds. You get an RRSP-style deduction when you contribute. And your withdrawals for a first home purchase are tax-free, just like a TFSA. So, for young Canadians or first-time buyers, this is the ultimate hack. You can contribute up to $8,000 a year, up to a $40,000 lifetime limit. And if you don't buy a home, you can transfer it tax-free to your RRSP later. Think about that. You could contribute $8,000 a year, get a tax refund worth up to $3,000 depending on your bracket, and still withdraw everything tax-free when you buy your first home. That's free government money for using the system properly. The issue? Most people don't open one because they think they can't afford a house right now. But here's the secret. You can open it, invest, and let it grow even if you're not ready to buy. And if the market changes or you never buy, you still win. Part 4. The real question. Where should you invest first? Now that we know what each account does, let's answer the real question. Which one should you prioritize in 2025? It depends on your income, goals, and time horizon. If you make under $60,000 a year, prioritize your TFSA. You're not getting much benefit from RRSP deductions yet, and the TFSA's flexibility and tax-free growth give you more long-term power. If you make between $60,000 and $100,000, start with your FHSA, if eligible, then TFSA, and finally RRSP. That way you get tax deductions now, but still keep tax-free flexibility. If you make over $100,000, RRSPs become extremely efficient. You'll save thousands in tax deductions now and can use the refund to fund your TFSA, a double benefit. Example, the $80,000 scenario, let's break it down with real numbers. You earn $80,000 a year in Ontario. You contribute $8,000 to your RRSP. You'll get about $2,500 back in tax savings. If you then put that refund into your TFSA, your effective contribution grows to $10,500 working for you, instead of just $8,000. Over 20 years, assuming 6% annual return, that small optimization grows to over $380,000. If you only used a TFSA or only an RRSP, you'd end up with less than $300,000. It's not magic, it's math. Part 5. The mistakes that cost Canadians the most. Mistake number 1. Contributing to an RRSP when your income is too low. You're locking in tax deferrals that don't benefit you. Mistake number 2. Leaving your TFSA in cash. A TFSA is not a savings account. It's a tax shelter for growth. Mistake number 3. Not opening an FHSA because you don't plan to buy yet. Even if you don't, it's still a free tax advantage. Mistake number 4. Not using refunds strategically. Your RRSP refund isn't fun money, it's reinvestment fuel. Mistake number 5. Thinking you need to choose one account. The real strategy is blending them. That's where wealth building truly begins. Part 6. The ultimate 2025 account strategy. Here's the playbook that works for most Canadians. Step 1. Open your FHSA immediately if you qualify. Contribute up to $8,000 a year and invest it wisely. Step 2. Use your RRSP refund to fund your TFSA every year. Step 3. Keep long-term investments in TFSA, stocks, ETFs, medium-term goals in FHSA or RRSP, and short-term savings in a HISA or GIC. Step 4. As your income grows, shift more into RRSP to manage taxes. This 3-tier strategy makes sure every dollar you earn works harder, tax efficiently, flexibly, and compounding at full strength. Part 7. How taxes change the game. Let's be clear. The CRA doesn't care how you invest, but they care where you invest. Interest from GICs or savings accounts. Fully taxed. Dividends or capital gains inside a TFSA. Completely ignored. RRSP withdrawals. Fully taxable. FHSA home purchase. Tax-free forever. So even if 2 people invest in the same fund, the person who used the right account ends up wealthier. And that's the truth most Canadians miss. It's not about being smarter than everyone. It's about being more efficient. Part 8. Emotional Reframe. People often think investing is about picking stocks or finding the next big thing. But for most Canadians, it's about making the system work for you. Because the truth is, you can't control the market, but you can control how much of your return you keep. And when you master that, RRSPs, TFSAs and FHSAs stop being confusing acronyms and start becoming the foundation of your financial independence. Final takeaway. So, where should Canadians invest in 2025? Here's the real answer. It's not RRSP versus TFSA versus FHSA. It's RRSP and TFSA and FHSA, used in the right order, at the right time for the right reason. If you get that order right, you'll save more on taxes, grow faster, and reach your goals years ahead of schedule. Drop SMART account in the comments, and I'll send you my free 2025 account optimization guide. It shows you exactly how to combine all 3 accounts based on your income level and goals. This is Financial Mo, helping Canadians make smarter, tax-efficient money moves that build real wealth, not just bigger balances. Subscribe, share this with someone still wondering, where should I put my money? And I'll see you in the next one.